Good morning. Good morning again. I am your instructor for today. So I would like to welcome you again here for the week 2, part 2 of our Maritime English course. So as parts of speech that we discussed for the past few days, so this week we are also discussing another parts of speech. So we already know about the noun, verbs, and adjectives. So there are still more parts of speech that we need to discuss. But today, we're going to discuss about I will explain about the adverb. So what's an adverb? An adverb is to modify an active verb or a verb phrase by expressing manner, place, time, degree, or number. It also indicates a degree, a frequency, or level of certainty. It helps us also to make us writing more interesting and descriptive sentences. Adverbs are also called the intensifier because they intensify the meaning of the word they modify. Adverb can tell us how, when, where, or how much, or how often some things happen. So how do we know in a sentence if it is an adverb? So, as I told you, it answered the questions how. For example, quickly running. The baby is peacefully sleeping. She loudly talked. So can you see? The adverbs here are quickly, peacefully, and loudly. So what do you notice about the adverbs? They are all ends with ly. See? Adverbs ends with ly. Because here, the word quick, peaceful, and loud those are the words that we use as an adjective. So they describe the noun. But when we put an ly at the end of the adjective, it becomes adverb. Another example, the quietly is an adverb that tells us how something happens. Okay. For an example, the cat quietly follows the mouse. So here, our adverb is the word quietly. And it modifies the word follows. Follows is our verb. So here, the adverb modifies the word verb, which is the follow. So we have here the types of adverbs. So we have the manner, time, adverb of place, adverb of frequency, adverb of degree, and the adverb of conjunctive. So first, what is an adverb of manner? So how do we determine which is the adverb of manner, or how do we use this? So it says here that the adverb of manner, it shows how someone does something or how something happens. It's also a word that describes how an action is performed. Usually, it plays after the verb or after the object. But there are times that the adverb also plays before the verb or before the noun. Just remember also that the adverb also modify the adverb itself. So here's are the example word for an adverb of manner. So we have here badly, quickly, loudly, carefully, brightly, excitedly, impatiently, happily, eagerly, quietly, deeply, kindly, slowly, and politely. So all of this, when we use this in a sentence, it answered the question how. So let's use those adverb in a sentence. We have here the example like Maria deeply regretted the damage caused by her son. So what is the adverb here? So as we say, it can easily determine because adverb usually ends with ly. So in our first sentence, the adverb here is the word deeply. And the adverb modifies the verb, the word regretted. So the adverb here modifies the verb. So another sentence or another example here, they waited eagerly for their semestral exam results. So what is the adverb? So we have here the word eagerly. So it also ends with ly. So eagerly, our adverb modifies the word waited. So this time, our adverb plays after the verb. So waited is a verb. Because waited is an action word. Next, Monica and Rachel happily agreed to be Phoebe's bridesmaid. So the adverb here is the word happily. So our adverb modifies the word agreed. So agreed is also an example of verb. So the adverb here modifies our verb. Another example is I can write and listen to music simultaneously. So we have here, as you can see, the adverb of manner is simultaneously because it answers also the question how. So how do we write and listen? So it's simultaneously. So the adverb here now it modifies the verb, the write and listen. So that's a verb, an example of action word. Another example, we left the room quietly as we did not want to wake up the baby. Our adverb here will be the word quietly. So it also ends in ly, and this time our adverb modifies the word left. Left is also an example for a verb. So the adverb here again quietly modifies the verb. Another example here is he climbed easily. So here is our adverb is the word easily. It also ends with ly. So what modifies the adverb here? It modifies the word climb. Climb is a example of a verb. And the next one is James screamed loudly. So the loudly is our adverb that modifies the word verb. The verb here is the word screamed. So the loudly, the adverb, modifies the verb. Another example is Jacob prayed silently. So Jacob prayed silently. So we have the word silently as an adverb and it modifies the word prayed. So prayed is also an example of verb. Another here is Jenny was eating slowly. So slowly is the adverb of manner because it answered the question how. How did Jenny eat? So the answer is slowly. And it modifies the word eat. So the adverb here modifies the verb because eating is an example of action word. So again, slowly is our adverb that modifies the verb. So eating is an example of action word. That's why it's a verb. So this time we have the adverb of time. Adverb of time, it can be identified by asking the question when. So, for the manner, it answered the question how. So, this time, it answered the question when. And it tells us about when an action happened. So, it can be example of now, soon, today, or yesterday, like that. Or how frequently an action happened. So, for example, like usually, always, sometimes, and so on. So, here are the words of the example of the adverb of time. So, we have here the word soon, monthly, daily, later, today, yearly, momentarily, yesterday, currently, often. So, see, this word often, it's silent T. We read it as often. And another word for an adverb of time is now, always, day after tomorrow, and rarely. So here are the examples. First is, will you able to finalize the dialogue for the play by tomorrow? So what do you think is the adverb of time? So first, we ask, here is the question when. So when does it happen, or when is the question asking is about? So we have here the word tomorrow. So tomorrow is our adverb of time. Another example here is, tonight we are celebrating the grand success of the company. So we have here the adverb of time here is the word tonight, and it plays on the first sentence. So it answers also the question when. So when are we celebrate the grand success? So the answer is tonight. So that's our adverb of time. Another example is, last week we alerted the authorities that the street lights were not working in our area. So, the adverb of time here is last week because it answered the question when. So, when we alerted the authorities, it is last week. Another one. Did you go to school yesterday? Did you go to school yesterday? So when did you go to school? The answer is yesterday. So the adverb of time here is yesterday. Another one. I will be visiting my grandmother next week. So it answered the question when. Let's see. When will you visit your grandmother? So the answer here is next week. So the adverb of time is the word next week. Here. So we have here tomorrow, tonight, last week, yesterday, and next week. So those are the words that we use as a adverb of time. Another example. The teacher ask the students to fill in the consent form immediately. So again, we need to ask the question, when? So when is the situation happen? Let's see. When was the teacher asked the student to fill the consent? So the answer here is immediately. So the word immediately is our adverb of time. Another one. My friends make sure to meet up monthly. So, when did they decide the friends to meet up? So the answer here is monthly. So the adverb of time here is the word monthly because it answered the question when. Another example here, Richard stayed at home today. So this time our adverb is the word today. It didn't end with ly, but it answered the question when. So when the things happen. So when is the Richard stayed at home? The answer is today. John always has a blueberry cheesecake from Glenn's Baked House. So it answered the question when. So when John has a blueberry cheesecake, it always. So always is our example also for the adverb of time. Earlier, the doctor were found rushing to the operation theater. So, it answers also the question when the doctor found rushing to the operation. The answer is earlier. So, the earlier here is our adverb of time. So, we already have the adverb of manner that answer the question how, and also the adverb of time answer the question when. So this time we have the adverb of place. So the adverb of place describe the location or the place where the action is taking place. And they can also refer to distance or the movement of an object to particular direction. So this time, the adverb of place answer the question where. For example, these are the words for the adverb of place, like below, somewhere, on, under, backwards, upstairs, anywhere, northwards, around, always. We have also here the word below, anywhere, upwards, and nearby. So how do we use this on a sentence? Well, let's determine the adverb of place. So, for example, can we please go somewhere to clear our minds? So this time, they use the word somewhere because it answered the question where. So where the thing takes place. Somewhere is our adverb of place. Another one. It is raining here. So, where does it rain? It answered the question where. So, the answer is here. So here is our adverb of place. Another one is, she has been working there for 7 years now. So let's see. Does the word there answer the question where? So, where she's been working for 7 years. The adverb of place that they use here is the word there. So it answered the question where. Another example here is, do you live nearby? So where do you live? And answer the question also where. And they use the word nearby as an adverb of place. So another example is, they headed homewards after the events. They headed homewards after the events. So the adverb of place here that they use is the word homewards. So it modifies the word headed. So headed is an example for an action word, which is the verb. Another one, can you please keep the door open when you come in? So this time, they use the word in. So in also is an example of adverb of place. So you can see the position of the adverb of place here is beside the word come, which is a verb also. Another one. After keeping our luggage in the 3rd floor room, we went downstairs to the hotel lounge. So they use the word downstairs as an adverb of place because it answered the question where. So where did we keep our luggage? It's downstairs. Another one. I am thinking about going north to explore the mountain country. So the question here is, where are you thinking to go, or where about you deciding to go? The answer is north. So it also answered the question where. So the adverb of place here is north, because north is tell us the direction. Another one. I don't think you are allowed to park anywhere you like. So the adverb of place that you use here is the word anywhere. So the anywhere here modifies the word park. Park is also an example of a verb. So the adverb of place here placed after the word or after the verb. Another example here is, Darwin loves to go out on a full moon night. Darwin loves to go out on a full moon night. So where did Darwin loves to go? It's out, or the outside. So our adverb of place here is the word out, and also place right after the verb, which is the word go. Go is an action word, an example of an action word. So it's a verb. So again, Adverb of manner, answer the question how. Adverb of time, answer the question when. And adverb of place, answer the question where. So this time, we have the adverb of frequency. So what is the difference of this? The adverb of frequency describes of how often an action occurs, or it usually comes before the main verb. They can also come after the verb to be. So let's see. What are the examples of the adverb of frequency? So we have here the chart. So first, when we say the word always, like this, when we say always, it's like we're doing it, or how do we do something, it's like 100% of our daily life, or you're doing it 100%, like this. For an example, you are always ready. So meaning, you always do that, or you're always ready every day, or for a certain task, you're always ready. So it categorized as 100%. The another one is the word usually. Usually now, it's like a 90%. So we usually go to the cinema on Saturday. It's like example of, for a month, we can say that you usually go to the cinema, so every Saturday. So maybe 3 times in a month that you always do that, or sometimes you don't miss. So it's only a 90% for your, when we say using the word usually. Okay. Another one is the word often. So he often cooks pasta. It says here it's only 50%. So like in a week, we can say that if he usually cooks pasta, it says here it's only 70%. It's maybe like 3 times a week, or sometimes 2 times a week. It depends. So it's not every day. The another one is the word sometimes. So the example of that is, we sometimes order pizza for dinner. So it says here it's only 50%. So we can say that for example, for a week, for the 7 days in a week, we only order like 3 times or 4 times. It's like a half of the week we usually order pizza. That's why we use the word sometimes. Another one is the word hardly, ever, or rarely. For example, she rarely eats sweets. So it's like only a 10%. So usually, maybe she doesn't eat sweets most of the time. Another one, when you say 0%, it's like the word never. It means that it didn't happen, or you're not doing it anymore. Like, I never drink soda. So that's how we use this frequency, or the adverb of frequency. How do we use this? And the example word, like the always, when we say usually, often, sometimes, hardly ever, rarely, and the word never. It's like if we categorize this in a percent. So never, it means as in 0. You never do this. That's why it categorized as 0%. Hardly, 10%. Sometimes, 50%. Often is 70%. Usually is 90%. And always is 100%. So let's see the example so you can understand more. So here are the words for the other example of the frequency. We use also the word never, sometimes, often, usually, every now and then is also an example for adverb of frequency. Rarely, ever, seldom, occasionally, normally, constantly, hardly, and always. So look at this example. Nick always plays tennis in the evening. So the word always is our example of adverb of frequency. So maybe Nick is doing that every night. So that's why they use the word always. Another example. The place is rarely crowded. So meaning, as our example, the word rarely is only like a 10%. So this place may be not always or not every time is full of people. It's not crowded. So that's why they use the word rarely. Here. Another example of our adverb of frequency is my friend and families get together occasionally. So occasionally is our adverb of frequency. So you can see most of it, it's also ends with ly. So the adverb here plays before the verb. So the verb here is together or get together. Another example. Here. The trains here are seldom late. Seldom is also an example for 70%, like that. 70%. It's always on time. Most of the time, it's never late. So we use the word seldom as a example for another one here. So I always study after class. So this time they use the word always and as an example of our adverb of frequency. So always, so meaning he always do that after class. So every day of his life, he study after class. So always is placed now before the verb. The word study is an example of the verb. So we have here also the degree of adverb. So we discussed this about for the last topic is we also have the degree of adjective. So this time we also So here again, the adverb of degree. So again, what's the adverb of degree? Is used to show the intensity or degree of something. Specify the degree which an adjective or another adverb applies. Describe the extent or measure or scope of an action. So here are the example of the degree of adverbs. So we have here the just, extremely, almost, absolutely, fully, enough. Also have here the strongly, the most, the deeply, quite, intensely, highly, and pretty, and hardly. So it's different from the, remember the adverb of the degree of adjectives. In the degree of adjectives, right, we use the comparative and superlative. So which is the, we will add the ER, R, or EST. So this time in the adverbs, we show that the degree of adverb now is to intensify the modifier. For example, the weather today is extremely hot. So it's still, and most of the words are ending also with ly. So different from the degree of adjectives. So the adverb here that we use is the word extremely. So it means it's very hot. So it intensifies the word hot. So hot is an example of adjectives. So the adverb here, it modifies the word adjective. Another one. He fully recovered from the accident. So what do you think is the adverb of frequency here? So we use the word fully. So fully is our adverb of frequency to modify the word recover. So recover is a verb. So it's an action word. So the adverb here modifies the word verb. Another example is, my friend calls me almost daily. So what is the adverb of frequency? It's the word almost. So almost is our adverb of frequency. So here again, I'm apologizing for the keep on and off. So again, as we continue, so here another example. My friend calls me almost daily. So here, our adverb that we use here is the word almost. So almost is an example of adverb or the degree of adverb. So this time, our adverb modifies the word daily. So daily is an example of adjectives. Another one. Billy was just playing with his friend. Billy was just playing with his friend. So, what do you think is our adverb of degree here? So, we have here the word just. So, just is also an example of degree of adverb. So, which is modifying the word playing. So, our adverb here modifies the verb. Because playing is an example of verb, an action word. Another one. My sister danced very gracefully. So what will be our adverb here? It's the word very. So this time, the adverb describes or modifies the gracefully. Gracefully is an example of adverb. So this time, adverb modifies also the adverbs. Because it answered the question, how? So gracefully is an example of adverb of manner. So here. So as the recap first, so we have the adverb of manner that answer the question how. We also have the adverb of time, which answer the question when. The third one is the adverb of place. It answered the question where. So, where an action is taking place. Another adverb is the adverb of frequency. So the frequency is also described on how often an action occurs. And the other one is the adverb of verb. So this time, we have now the conjunctive adverb. So what is this conjunctive adverb? So it serves to connect two clauses or sentences. It also helps illustrate the transition between ideas. It's also said that the conjunctive adverb, it can also be called as an adverbial conjunction or subordinating adverb. So, here are the words. These are the adverbs that we use to identify as an conjunctive adverb. So, we have here anyway, otherwise, meanwhile, nevertheless, moreover, furthermore, finally, however, hence, besides. Another one is yet, in addition, pretty, and in fact. So these are just some example of the conjunctive adverb. So how do we use those adverbs? The however, besides, nonetheless, meanwhile, anyway, is used to denote a contrasting opinion, suggestion, or statements. So, what does it mean? For example, here, I have here two sentences. So, first one here, Aaron went to many stationery stores in that area. So, we have that, our first one, first clause. However, he did not find what he was looking for. So here, we have here the word however. So however, now, is what we call the conjunctive adverb because they connect. They connect the first clause and the second clause. So as our conjunctive adverb says, it serves to connect two clauses or sentences. Another one here. He makes me laugh, therefore he can stay. So here, we have here our first clause. Another one, he makes me laugh. And we use the word therefore as our adverb to connect the second clause, which is he can stay. So this time, I have here another example. The first one, the first clause here is I understand you. However, I don't agree with you. So we use the word however, the adverb, the conjunctive adverb here is the however, used to connect the first clause to the second clause, or the first sentence to the second sentence. So, I understand you, however, I don't agree with you. So here is the other one. The kids were already feeling cold. Hence, we decide not to turn on the AC. So we have here two sentences, or two clauses. The first one is the kids were already feeling cold. So for us to able to connect it to the second one, we use a conjunctive adverb, which is the word hence. So the kids were already feeling cold, hence we decided not to turn on the AC. Another example here. So we have here, you will be informed that all you should carry with you when you come for the trip. So that will be our first sentences. You will be informed that all you should carry with you when you come for all the trip. Additionally, you will be given an itinerary so that you can be well aware of the activities that we will take place. So here, to connect the two sentences, we use a conjunctive adverb, which is the word additionally. So here. So conjunctive adverbs again is used, those, just remember those, the example, the words example, use as or to help us illustrate the transition between ideas. So that will be our topic for today. So it's all about the adverb. So I would like to recap again. So what are the adverbs? So adverb is the adverb here again is what we call, or that modifies the verb, or sometimes it modifies the adjective also, and modifies the adverb itself. So as part of our recap, we have also the types of adverbs. So what are those types of adverbs? We have the adverb of manner. How do we classify the adverb of manner? Adverb of manner is answer the question how. So it shows how someone does something or how something happened. Another example, or the type of adjective that we discuss, is the adverb of time. So when we say time, it answers the question when. So it tells us about when an action happened. Another adverb is the adverb of place. So this time, it answers the question where. So it describes the place where an action is taking place. So manner is how, time is when, and place is where. While the another types of adjectives is the adverb of frequency, which shows how often the action occurs, like the extremely, usually, always. So that's the frequency. And also we have the degree of adverb. So what it shows also to intensify the degree of something. So those are exactly like deeply, extremely, strongly, or highly. So specify the degree to which an adjective or another adverb applies. And the last one that we discussed is about the conjunctive adverb. So this is so simple that the conjunctive is used naman to connect two clauses or two sentences. Okay? Thank you for listening. That will be our topic for today.